Hi, y'all. Mic check 1 2, mic check 1 2. Pie y'all gang in the building, Jack. How everybody doing? Shout out to everybody in the chat with their thumbs, Jack. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, cause you know we stand in tune with this Kada Scott K, cause it just blow my mind, bro, what they really did to that girl, man. Man, once those paperworks came out, what the police had and went on and released it, man, I'm looking at this stuff in real time. Since we got the paperwork and everybody know what happened now. Everybody know what happened now to it, right? So since we got time stamps, you know, boom, let me hit my live cam. Since we got time stamps and you know dates and you know the friends going live and stuff with like we know Keon and he asked about Kada and all of this and when to search. So now we can go back in real time was like damn. When they filed the missing person report on her, you know what I'm saying? Before they even started the missing person reports, man, you got to start out with the friends calling. I mean, he calling the friends on September the 25th. I think that was on the 25th, if I'm not mistaken. So when I was looking at the case and looking at the time and the dates on there, because I was like, let me go back and relive that moment. Like, okay, since I know what happened to her, let's see how the police did their investigation. Man, look, y'all, this stuff is crazy. Did y'all see the reports? Man, they said the girl got shot in the head. And this had to happen in like about 20 to 30 minutes after when she was last seen on her job. So watch this. Starting from October the 3rd at 11 p.m., right? It was a car stolen at the 6600 block of Sprague Street. So this is where they stole the car at. Right here. Nah, not this, John. Hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, right here. I know I right. Right here. So they said it was a car stolen. Hold on, this is yeah. So so look, when they came here, they stole a car from right here, y'all. Right here. Now, they stole a car from where they finna hide the body at. You know, this not even far. You can basically walk. You know what I'm saying? So they stole a car from right here and they stole it on the 3rd. So when they stole it on the 3rd, so we know her route where she was at that night. She was on the date. She made it to the house. Okay, you know, so they stole the car, right? So when this car finna come back into play, go when she go to the house, boom, go home, change clothes, boom, boom, boom. Then once she change clothes, right, they go to job. So now look, boom, once she go to the job, right? This when everything finna take fold. All right. So they ride in the stolen car. They text message each other. Boom, boom, boom. She even told the person, man, call me when you out here. Then the person replied like, this is my new number. No, this is Kale. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to see like why would be like, call me when you get here and kidnap me again and all of this. I just really want to know what's that about. But when she got in that car and you checked the route, this what they did. She left the job. They said she left the job. Really said 20 minutes after she arrived there. So that means boom. In the They gonna arrive here exactly at 10:23, I believe, or roughly 3 minutes. Roughly 3 minutes, but hold on. So let's go to the timestamp on the phone, right? It was 10:12 using the towel, right? At her job where she worked at 10:12. She talking to the person, right? 10:12, a car gonna pick her up round about 10:20. That's when she gonna leave. When the police was like, yeah, she left the house around 10:20. I mean, the job round 10:20. So they immediately came here. When they came here, cause this is a straight shot from Stanton Street. It's a straight shot. You ain't gotta do no turns or nothing. So look, they either came down this street or this street to come back up this street and park the car and bag it in here. Cause they couldn't go this way cause it was a gate here. So this what the police was like, well look, when she arrived here, they must have shot her in that car. Well, they did shot her in the car. But you know what I'm saying, what point? On the way there or here when they bagged it in. They said the dude exited out the car, here go the playground. They left the body in the car. Hold up. Let me read some of these reports right quick. Man, disclaimer, Fair Use Act, education purpose use only. All rights and image and music clip belong to these respective owners and we do not claim ownership. So that means when she got in the car, when the police said she died like 20 minutes after leaving her job, rephrase that and be like she left her job in 20 minutes after when she showed up. And that's when soon she got in the car, they either had to shoot her on their way down Stanton Street. Right? Stanton Street. It's going to be right here, Stanton Street. They either had to shoot her on the way here or got to her to shoot her in the head. So she was calling these folks. All right. I need to go back to the dates. I write on the 4. So now look, this is gonna be between the 28th and October the 4th. Yo, Kada, this my new number. The complainer replied, who this? The username said this Kale. September the 4th. October the 4th. Now this at 10:07. This would be right after when she driving You know what I'm saying? And making it to the job. She probably already made it there around about that time. And she texted, kidnap me again. To the suspect replied, you better be up to. So following the plans to meet her that night, the Texas screamed 2 minutes later. Call me when you hear. So they using a text number that's registered to this person. Now that's finna go back. It's 2 girls involved. It's 2 girls that's involved, including Kel, so there's 3. And we all know that he gonna have help with another male subject. Or a female subject. We don't know, cause they never I don't know if they really truly identify who were with him. So that's a total of 4 people. Now that's a total of 4 people right there, right? So boom, watch what they said. 10:09. Reese, call me when you're here. So they arrive at 10:15. They traveling down Pleasant Avenue. Where Pleasant? Mount Pleasant at? Mount Pleasant. I'll get back to Mount Pleasant right quick. Hold up. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Trying to get it right. All right. This is what I want right here. They say they got 3 phones, 1 tablet, trash bag, latex glove, a hammer, a 9mm, and ammo. Hold on. I want to get to the good part. Now check this out. All right, starting from right here. Hold on, let me go back a little bit. Man, that's just so crazy how the way they did it, bruh. Cause look, when they went, Miranda warning, Miranda warning, they were talking to the 2 girls, right? This girl right here and the girl named Larisha, you know what I'm saying? It's 2 girls that Keon and this other dude kept running back to their house, but they using her now text device that's texting Kada on their way to pick her up. So when they picked her up in a stolen car, bruh, round about 10:17, 10:15, no later than 10:20. So that means she had to die shortly in that car. Meaning when they got her in there, bruh, they either shot that girl in route or pulled in. right here and shot her in the back of that car, pulled in. Pulled in. Now that's gonna be on September really like September the 5th, cause that's the 4th going in on midnight, right? You know what I'm saying? So she gonna be shot like you know what I'm saying? Think about it. Bullet to the head, 10-20 something. Bam. They par right here. It's finna go on the 5th, right? It's finna go on the 5th. So when they text message her and all this, I'm gonna go to this right quick. Cause I need the 6 I need the 6 right quick. So make a long story short, damn, I don't wanna go to the 7th. I wanna stick to the 6 right here. Now he was stopped at 6 p.m. on 60th Street, where his phone pinged, you know what I'm saying, where it's gonna be later pinged, you know what I'm saying, where the car was burnt at, right? So it was like, damn, if it was on the 6th, that means the police was on his radar, right? The whole time they ain't say nothing about it was like a you know what I'm saying, like what the traffic stop was really for. They identified the car. So the police know it's gotta be something up with him on the 6th at 6:13 p.m. Boom. Now look. Damn, I need to go. Hold up. Do this. This'll make it even better. Check this out. All right. The vehicle was a Toyota Camry. The police said it was registered in his name, right? Now we already know he shot her and left her in the car for 2 days. This is what he did. When he pulled up, he had the shooter and they left the car there. This gonna be the stolen car, I guess. Cause they ain't gonna shoot her in his car. So she gonna be in this car. They shot her, left the car for 2 days. Then when they pulled back up at 4 a.m. in the morning, the dark color car vehicle was parked according to the documents, letting it show 2 people going up to the dark vehicle in the parking lot and remove a heavy object. So this is 2 days later. Now think about the 2 friends story, right? When it comes to the 2 friends story, the one like I know Keon and I ain't know he was this type of person and all of this old stuff, right? Since we know what's happening now we could actually trace it back in real time. So at 4 in the morning they come back. Pulled in her. Let's go down to it. Check this out, y'all. This some cold stuff. So they bagged it in. The reason why I think they had to bag in, cause of the trees, you know what I'm saying? Cause it looked like, well, you know, ain't nobody just gonna just really just see in the cut. Just say like where that car was at. I need to go back a little bit. Like right there. So the car gonna be bagged in this area. So that means they dragged the body 4 o'clock in the morning through the park. Cause the reason why they had to go here because of the gate. Because of the gate. So they couldn't go that way. That's why they had to use the playground. That's why they started fighting her, finding her items somewhere, I think in this location. So look, the girl was in the car for 2 days. So if she was in the car for 2 days, clearly this center is still open. And that's where they got surveillance footage from this camera too. Right? So they part her, dragged the body. When look, 240, one person is seen on video getting in a dark color vehicle. The next day, on the 7th, later that day, a tip led to a Hyundai at the Boom Boom 7400 block. Now they burnt the car. They burnt the car on the 7th once they got the body out of there. So guess what they were doing? Round between that time when they took the body over there. Let's read this. September 9th, look, they went to a home. Southwest Philadelphia that's connected to the case. They go back to those girls. Those 2 girls that's in the report. Not these 2 girls that we be seeing that went live and stuff. Not these 2 girls right here that stayed on the same street. Yeah, that one girl was walking down Kayla Street like, yeah, Kayla stay right here. She always walked her dog right here. Keon always come down this street and serve us, and that's our pharmacy dude right here. And you know, everybody go all the way down and to this store right here, cause this where everybody hang out at, right? And then it's right down the street from her job. That's right down the street from the job, right? So I'm like, so why would these 2 girls would go on live, would be like, yeah, girl, go to the police and do all this, you know what I'm saying? And the other girl was like, well, girl, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no involvement with this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of sounds strange, but it makes sense now. Cause what she basically saying was, that's my friend. He come and serve her, just like the other friend said. He come and serve both of her. But it was kind of strange that he called her out the blue. I mean, just talking about Kayla. I ain't know she stayed that close to you. You know that Kayla girl was like, yeah. But this best friend came to her was like, yeah. She talked to Kaylin, Keon too. You see what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, what information that was so valuable that they had that she wanted her to go to the police department, get that information? She was like, well, you know what I'm saying? All he did was just call me, ask me about her. And she like, nah, you need to go to the police, then call the police on 3-way. And I'm like, well, what's all this about? It's got to be a little more to that story. But let's go back to this. At the scene of the murder. So boom. Once they get her, pull the body, park the car up in her, drag the body her. Now, so the body gonna be her. We know for sure. On the 6th and on the 7th. Right? So we know the body gonna be here on the 6th and the 7th. Now watch this. 2 days later, they searching. They look, they on to something. And on the 10th, now let's start with the 9th. Cause when you go back to the 9th, you get this story. from the girl that went live and told her side. Yeah, this the video that Keon. Let me go to that video. I need to play that John too. What that video? Hey, that. It's this channel right here. So when you think about the night, look what Keon already did, right? Look what he already did. Let me go to her page because I don't think it's on this one. Is it this one? I think it's this one. No, not this one. Damn. No. What was it with this one? Right here, here we go. Right here, y'all.
Kidnapping charges.
Let's see if I can help you with that.
All right.
Friends with Keon. He was our pharmacist. So one day Keon calls me, and keep in mind, I am in school, I am in Maryland, and he will usually just call me, just to check up and talk. So he calls me and he asks me if I know Kada. And I'm like, yeah, I know Kada. And he's like, oh yeah, I noticed that she lives really close to you. I'm like, yeah, she lived right in the back of me. And I'm not thinking nothing of it because he usually calls me and, we just be chatting. He'll call me about the people that be around because he is the pharmacist. I live in the neighborhood and he be in my neighborhood. So we hang up the phone and that was that. We were only on the phone for 29 seconds. So you can see that this is the day that he called me and this.
All right. So he called her on September 26th. This when she first started getting harassed calls from this dude. So it would make sense why he would call her to give more information about her. And let's just say she don't even know probably what the fuck going on. She ain't thinking nothing of it, right? Just look at it like that for right now. But check this out.
This was before Kada went missing.
All right.
And we were only on the phone for 29 seconds.
Okay.
Also, I know that his name says Elliot in my phone. That's just what we call him.
Right.
So a couple of days after that, my best friend calls me and, we're just talking about life. And I mentioned to her how Keon brought up Kada to me. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm like, oh yeah, he was probably trying to flirt with her. He's probably trying to get at her. Mind you, me and my best friend, we know.
So basically your best friend kind of you said something about Keon too. She mentioned Keon asking her the same thing. Right? Can we all agree with that? So there was a plan in the making on Keon's side. So since he know people in the hood, that he just basically got information off these two females, more about, about her whereabouts and all this, and they didn't know what was behind all of this, But the best friend come to her was like, hey man, Keon asked about Kada, you know what I'm saying? And she like, he might be trying to flirt with it, you know what niggas do, you know what I'm saying? See something they like, they begging that junk, trying to see if she going or whatever the case that may be. But it got me really thinking different, like, damn, jealousy really ain't the motive behind this shit, cause this shit more personal than anything. So this man literally, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if they got a part in this or they was confused or whatever the case may be. But just look at it for right now. Just for right now. He probably ran game on him just to get some intel on Kada. I need to know where she stay at. Man, where she stay? Oh, she stay right behind me. You know, oh yeah, right there. You know, it be a car in the driveway. You know what I'm saying? She always walk a dog. You know, all that. So boom, watch this.
Kada because we grew up with her little sister. Now, we didn't know Kada personally because, again, we grew up with her little sister. We were around 12, 11 years old. Kada, she was much older than us, so we didn't really talk to her. So my best friend was like, oh yeah, like he probably thought she was cute, and that was that. So right here is the day that I called my best friend and told her that, you know, Keon was trying to get at Kada. This is before she went missing. So a couple days, maybe a week after that, it is reported on October 4th that Kada is missing. So keep in mind, I am in Maryland, so I'm not really into all the Philadelphia news that be going on. So I'm not knowing that Kada is missing until my best friend sends me a text and says that Kada is missing. So this is the day that my best friend tells me that Kada is missing on October 9th. So
Now check this out. Guess what will happen way before October the 9th when he already did what time? Now look, if once you go back to the 4th, to the 3rd, all right, a Hyundai was stolen. On the 4th, 9 p.m. Now this on the 4th. She went to work now, cause keep this in mind, this finna go on the 5th. Now on the 5th, you know what I'm saying? You know, they already shot her that night. You know what I'm saying? Bam, bam, bam. Around 10 p.m., she vanished from the workplace, went down the street. You know what I'm saying? She received 12 calls between 9:25 to an hour. 12 calls, right? Then at 10:09, we already know what's going on. 10:15, it appears two appear to be together at a place of employment, right? It's gonna be somebody with her, a male or a female. Boom. 10:24, the police said her phone stopped all internet contact. That means they had, as soon as she got in the car, she died within a minute or two. A minute or two. Boom, they killed the girl. You know what I'm saying? And they stopped all the networks. 10:28, the Dodge vehicle is seen pulling at the Reshina Center. At the school, right? Pulled in, bagged in, did all of that. Now look, the criminal complained that King's cell phone was tracked multiple trips between Belmar Trey's home area and the goddamn middle school where Scott's body was found. Now check this out. We know her body gonna be there in a car for how long? 2 days. 11 p.m. A gold Toyota camera police said this Richard King pulled into the video where the vehicle was parked the night before on the 6th. 4 a.m. The light colored vehicle is seen moving closely to the dark color vehicle was parked. According to court document, video showed two people going up to the dark car vehicle and remove a heavy object. Now this on the 6th at 4 in the morning. They was seen carrying a large object through the playground where her remains gonna be found. Now check this out. Now this in the morning. The next day, 2 a.m., one person is seen on video getting into the dark color vehicle. Now this on the 7th, 2 a.m. And later on that day, somebody tipped them off and say, hey, the car on fire. That's on the 7th. Now we into the 9th. The police searched the home of these people that's in the connection with this case. What time actually that you searched the home? Now, this what she's saying at 9 something.
So I'm that my best friend tells me that Kada is missing on October 9th.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in my friend's dorm and I call Keon and it's a lot of music and a lot going on in the background. So I go somewhere that's quiet and I tell him, Keon, Kada is missing. Like that girl, she's missing. So he was like, what? And then after that, the phone just hung up. So here you can see that I called Keon and we were on the phone for 2 minutes.
Now for 2 minutes, check this out. She on the phone for 2 minutes. Now this at 1:32 p.m. Now this later on in the afternoon, right? So what time the police searched the house? Cause it sounds like they didn't search the house yet. And once she called him, like, hey man, you know, the girl missing this, she said he automatic hung the phone up. But look what he already did. This crazy, look what this man already did. On video. On video, right? Nah.
If you feel like your brain craves pleasure just as much as it craves being a man of integrity, it's probably no coincidence.
So you have to keep in mind, this was my friend.
Right.
Okay? I did not think that he could be capable of anything like this. In my head, I'm just thinking, there's no way in the world he could have did something like this. There's no way in the world. So then a couple of days after,
look, y'all, this stuff is so crazy, bro. Once you hear her story, it gonna kind of make sense. Like, you said, damn, you didn't know he was that type of dude, which I can understand. You know, so you said you just met him 4 years. He might came out cool to you. You know what I'm saying? But look what the man already did to the girl. Had the body in the car 2 days, got people helping him, dragging it to a school on video, in stolen cars and his car, clear as day on video. So she probably wasn't unaware of this type of shit going on with him.
after that, my mom sends me a screenshot of Keon turning himself in for the kidnapping of Kada. So this is my mom sending me the article, and she was distraught to say the least. And I know she said that
Now that's on the 14th. The Wednesday gonna be on the 14th. Remind y'all they found the body on the 18th. So the whole time when they were searching that goddamn property, her body was there the whole time. And you know what I'm saying, in that little wooded area. The police were actually right there where her body was, bruh.
He was a random person, but she says this about all my friends. So me and my best friend, we get on the phone and we're talking about the situation. We're just saying how this is just crazy. This is the call of me and her talking about it. Now, this is all.
Now, this on the 10th. She would be talking to her best friend on the 10th at 11:14. Now, look at this. On the 10th, around 3 p.m., police say surveillance footage showed. Now, this is how you know the police got the footage. So you mean to tell me the police got this footage on October the 10th? How they did not find the body? If they seen it tote the body out the car. When did the police get access to the cameras? Well, all right, 3 p.m. Police said, look, the gold Toyota Camry, registered King, arrived at the Gibson Lane. That's where his people stay at, and she work at the health department for the kids. You know what I'm saying? His mama work at the children's hospital. The car word was parked there. You know what I'm saying? That go back to his family. She work at Child Protective Service. Child Protective Service. She work at Child Protective Service. His mama work at the Children's Hospital. That's why the car will be parked there on the 10th at 3 p.m., right? Now look, they got video footage of this. So look, he turned himself in on the 14th, right? He turned himself in on the 14th. That's when the police announced it on the 15th. Keep this in mind, they ain't got the body yet. But they got some surveillance camera footage already. That's the crazy part about it. Because I'm trying to see, how did y'all couldn't find the body if you got the surveillance footage? So boom.
Happening around the time that I'm taking my midterms. So I'm really just trying to keep my head on the books, and I wasn't really trying to let this stress me out. So I kind of just let it go. You know, he turned himself in. It's not really much to say or do anymore. So a couple of days after that, me and my best friend get on the phone, and we're basically just, you know, talking about the Kada situation. And she says that she thinks that I should call the cops. So she was basically saying that she thinks that I should call the cops and tell them that Keon was, you know, asking about Kada. Now, at the time in my head, I'm thinking that there was no reason to call the cops. He already turned himself in, and I felt like it would be kind of a waste of time to tell them that the guy that they already have in custody, you know, called me and was asking about the girl.
So once you go back to this paperwork and see what the man was doing in real time, that's crazy. Look what the man was doing in real time. So you got the man, look, on the 6th reveal, suspect traveled to the Belmont Trace in Center Center, linked by the Criminal Justice Center. The man even went to court. Because he even had a court date. The man even went to court. And then look, when the man hit the court, watch this. 45 minutes later, they got footage tracing the gold camera, following the same routes, registered him, everything, confirmed it on the 6th. And he was later stopped So shit, he was already on the fucking radar then. Before the night. That's what the investigation looking like to me. And they stopping him in his car. King would later stop. Right? Bam, bam, bam on 6th Street. Where again place his phone in the same area of the stop. Of the previous stop. On the 10th, on the 1st and the 2nd. During the stop on the 1st, he was listed as the passenger in all parties and devices. Evidence showed that Kada Scott went missing upon the circumstances, all because of Keno, his phone data, video collaboration in that goddamn camera. You know what I'm saying? On the move. So.
And me personally, I'm not a cop caller. Like I don't call the cops. That's just the way that I grew up. That's what I was around. You know, they will always tell me, you know, you don't call the cops. So I just felt like, you know, the information that I had and the fact that, you know, I'm just not really a cop caller, it wouldn't make sense for me to call the cops. So then my best friend tells me, well, you know, if you won't call the cops and tell them, then I will. And then she basically tells me that she doesn't want to be friends with me anymore because I won't call the cops. And I told her, you know, that's completely fine. I just don't want any involvement. So then we hung up the phone, and then I believe she called me again with the police on the other line. So you can see, I told her, you know, I'm sorry, I'm not talking to the cops. And yeah. Now, I can see how this could be cruel, and I do take accountability for that. So then, a couple of days later after that, I get sent a link on Instagram. And the link was basically my best friend going live, just talking about the situation, saying how I was weird for not going to the cops. And people in the comments were just coming up with their own narratives about the story. And it just got way out of hand, and it just spiraled. So you can see somebody sent me the link of the live. And
so now watch what the affidavit say. Now on the 5th, this all, look, whatever, everything what she just said, all this gonna be right on the 9th and after that. But look what happened before that. They responded to the 83 bot for the missing person report. So they went to her house, right? Boom, boom, boom. So look. So that's where you finna get all the phone call. Boom. Now check this out. Finna go all the way to the 7th, because we already know what happened on the 4th, the 5th, and going on to the 6th, right? So check this out. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me find. All right. So look, they went to the two girl house, cause that's where you're gonna get the phone at. I mean, the text message, the one that led her to get to the car in the stolen car, is gonna go back to these two girls. You know what I'm saying? So once you look at the time and the dates on her, now look at the time on the dates on her. He will be going back and forth, right? Doing all of this on the move. Cause you already know when he on the seat, they getting the body. I'm trying to find out when they were talking about missing for 4 in the hour. That's what I need to get to. Now you see on the 15th right here, right? They went to the middle school, they found an EBT card. They recovered an EBT card that day at the crime scene. Well, not the crime scene, but in the parking lot. Right? $3 p.m. on the 10th. Now this on the 10th. Exiting repeatedly, accessing the trunk and leaving the car. Now, guess what this gonna be yet? This 100 brothers at the school. At the middle school. So I was like, well, wait a minute. The man even had his car up there. Like I said, 1021, she seen near Anderson Street. Anderson Street right here. I should have cut the screens on. Right here. So look, they had to come down this way. Boom, don't it make sense? Down Anderson Street, down this way. All right. So that's where they're gonna last the phone, the tablet, and the iWatch were last seen on the 5th at 114. So watch this. This placed her watch stationary at the recreation center lot after the suspect phone left the area. Surveying conducted by the detective Luger and the other here we go right here. 1028. A medium dark colored vehicle pulled in the parking lot. So at 1028, that's when they're gonna ride. So she had to been shot at least around 1028. Or a little bit before that, or a little bit after that, depending on how they move out the car. So when the car pulled up, right, bagging into the parking lot to the playground and all this old shit. Cross from the driveway, abandoned, you know what I'm saying? It's a spot over 2.5. Look. Here I go right here. It was noted that they observed the vehicle parked in that same spot for 2.5 days. Both during nighttime and daylight hours. The vehicle appeared to be consistent with being with an older model Hyundai. Visual observed exiting the driver's seat of the vehicle and walking away through the playground towards the fence line between two properties. And look at this. Right? On the 5th. Now this at 11:39 p.m. The vehicle is observed and pulling into the parking lot, bagging into the spot in the road closest to the street, facing towards the correction center, and the suspect vehicle, his vehicle, which is still parked in the same spot. Bro, man, somebody, man, this shit was playing, bro. I don't even think it's no jealousy shit, man. This some private, this some shit personal. This gotta be personal, bro. You left her in the car for 2 days. You already stole it. You shot her in the car. You could have just left it there. But they took that job, left her here for 2 days. In front of this motherfucker. So she was sitting in the car right here. So they had to drag that girl through her. That's what got him on camera. Cause they had to drag that girl through there, bro. Or they drag her toward this way. Still gonna be on camera. Walking across the fence line. So look. Man, that just look. Check this out, gang. The man was busting all these moves right down the street from the house. The man the man was still on the move when the police showed up to the parents' house filing a missing person report on her. All of this finna go back on the 5th. And on the 6th, look how that man was moving on the 6th and the 7th, trying to dispose the body. That's crazy. They got his car pulling in the spot, the creation center, bagging in, right? 2 individuals on foot approach the suspect vehicle and remove a heavy object that consisted with a human body. That's when she's gonna be in a trash bag. So when they actually put her in the trash bag, that's the crazy part about it. Because if they shot her in the car, you see what I'm saying? When they had enough time to put her already in the trash bag in the car and they bring her out in the trash bag. So you got these 2 individuals in the lot on the 5th. Body already been there, right? I believe that's when they probably did the grave. Cause look, when they came, check this out. The vehicle stayed parked at the location for 4.5 hours. Until about 3:55 a.m. when the 2 individuals emerged from the playground. So they were back there for 4 hours. 4 hours. So you got this on 11:39 on the 5th. Keep this in mind. She's still gonna be in the car while they be back there for 4 hours. Man, them folk was digging back there, bruh. Oh, my bad, y'all. I mean 11 at night. 11 at night p.m. 4 hours. Go back to 3:55 a.m. in the morning. Then you got these bastards. They could be possibly digging. And that's why they seen 4 hours later coming back to the car. 2 individuals. You see what I'm saying? Then they signal one visual, move the vehicle, and they remove a heavy object assisting with the human body. So that means they were moving the body to that location around 3:55. So that means that's when her body finna be actually touching down in this area. Right here. So they got a timestamp that she gonna be right here around about 4 o'clock at the most. And they was here 4 hours digging. So where they get the shovels from? Where they get the they say nothing about they got out with tools or shovel other items. None of that. You see what I'm saying? So where the tools come in at and where the tool was already at? Cause I did see on the news helicopter, cause they showed the police in this area and they was bringing all type of debris out here, landing right here. I seen them folk brought out shovels. I seen them folk brought out like random objects, like some shit they had. I believe the reason why they didn't find her in the first beginning, cause when they buried the grave, they piled shit on top of it. So I was like, so where all that debris came from? And if it wasn't already back there, cause the items that they were bringing back there, I'm like, why would this be all back here? All this is school territory, so they finna keep this shit neat and clean. So listen to this shit.
All right.
Now watch the timestamp on this again.
That's our priority, and so we will ask for your help in locating this vehicle, which you'll get a little more information. It's a 1999 metallic gold Toyota Camry with a Pennsylvania tag of MSX0797, but we need to know where this car is. We need to find this car. Making this very clear, it's not to just focus on the northwest section of the city of Philadelphia. This car has traversed through the entire city. And so I want that to be clear, that every neighborhood, every person listening to this, whether you're in North Philly, South Philly, Southwest, Northwest, please open your eyes and see if you locate this car, or if you have seen this car, please contact us and give us that information. The second part of this is the individual that Deputy Commissioner Venor will provide his information very shortly. Want folks to understand this person has a little bit of a pattern of this type of history. And so we want to encourage anyone that may have been involved with this individual, anyone that may know this individual, please, at this point in time, make that phone call. Feel comfortable enough to call us and let us know if you have any information regarding this person, regarding any interaction you've had with this individual. If you have been a victim of any crime regarding this individual, I want you to understand now is the time to make that phone call and let us know. Give us that information so that we can continue on. Again, just want to make it very clear that a lot of work has been done, starting off with Northwest Detective Division, and then this case shifting over to homicide, making it very clear that the case was shifted to homicide because we have the most experienced investigators in our homicide unit. They have the most experience dealing with all types of investigations. They also have the most resources available to them. And so we have the hopes that we are still treating this as if Ms. Scott is still alive. And that's why we want the public's help in trying to locate every single piece of this. But I just wanted to make that clear because I know there's been some reports once it shifted over to homicide, folks not understanding the why. And so that's the reason behind that. At this point in time, again, appreciate the help that we've gotten. I want to turn everything over to Deputy Venora to go into more details about the individual that has been taken into custody and some other pertinent facts of the investigation.
All right, good morning. Just to reiterate what the Commissioner Stanford said, we've been investigating this since Saturday, October 4th in the evening, the last time Kada Scott was seen at her place of work up in Mount Airy area. Our evidence that we followed, and we did involve a lot of investigators on this, led us to several places, that digital evidence, and as everybody knows, we searched a very large area up in the Arboretum, and we came up really with negative results. After that time, we asked the Homicide Division, the FBI Violent Crime Task Force to enter into the investigation, and we continued our search trying to Ms. Scott along with anybody she may have encountered during that time.
Now, I can see why they had negative results because of this. Instead of searching right here, they were searching right here in this location. Whoever the tipster was, I guess the police thought they're going to be in this location since they mentioned the heavy wooded area. That's why they found negative results. Keep this in mind, this is the first location they searched. Then they get a tip, be like, no, you got to go to this arboretum right here in this little wood area. That's when they start finding things. Now, they start finding things on the 15th. Now, check this out. Once they find items on the 15th, you got to look at it like this here. So when they got access to their footage, because on the 15th, right, once they got access to this footage, look how 2 days later they find the body. How would they find the body 2 days later? You got the same footage that you claim you got now in the document over here, claiming that you saw all this. So you got to explain like why it took 2 days later, 3 days later to find the body here. You know, I'm like, if you saw a video, clearly you finna see the car, then you had the man on the radar when he went to court on the 6th. You mean to tell me you didn't see his car then? And, you know, couldn't piece it together. The man had to turn himself in. Because the shit got so hot, like, bam. He turned himself in on the 14th. They announced the arrest record on the 15th. They didn't have that footage then. So they stole a car from her, drove to the job, brought her back here, underlive her, had her sitting in the car for 2 days, went in the car, went to the back of this field for 4 hours, dug the body, dug the grave, came back here, motioned the car to drive somewhere over here, and they dumped the body. Back here. And then drove the car, the stolen car, and burnt the motherfucker up the street. Then His phone is pinging. He gonna be with the car. They burnt up the street. So boom, he burnt the car up the street, and the motherfucker get pulled over. So, bam. Guess what this fool did? He go down here. Now this where her phone gonna be pinged at. So he still will have the phone and it ping right here. That means goddamn. The phone must have came back on and it pinged in this area, and that's why the police came and got the two girls. Now this is where the two girls. Now y'all see all these yellow dots. This is where his family member would stay at. So it would make sense that how he would know these two girls, because he could have known them from the neighborhood, because they were his family at. Right? So the phone pinged her, but they found her glasses, a phone case, all this stuff where they found the body at, right? So boom, the man came back, dropped the car off her, and turned himself in. Who was the other person on the video that was helping him? And once he, and why is they involved in it? When I say involved in it, like, why would they put there to be like, yeah, why he contact you? I can see the reason why. To get information. Oh yeah, I know such and such in the hood. Let me call some man. You know Slim? Yeah, I know Slim. I ain't know she stayed that close to you. Yeah. She stays, you know what I'm saying? She be walking her dog and all this old stuff. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? What's up with her? Oh man, nothing much. I just, you know what I'm saying, Mel. But the whole time he was harassing her. So basically you could just say that he called them just to get the tea on her for whatever personal reason, what made that man so mad. What would make that man so mad, bruh, that he wouldn't killed that girl and planted this, stole a car for this, called people like, you know this, you know her, went to the girl job harassing this girl, calling the girl and everything. What the hell she did that fucked up for make you to be on her ass like that? It's more personal, bro. You got two females that don't want to cooperate, phone pinging at their house. You got two male subjects going back to their house, going back to the crime scene and everything. All of this before the night. That's the crazy part about it. Because if you look at this shit in real time, you be like, man, look what that man already did. And she trying to explain herself like, man, look, the man called me. I called the man, you know, like Kayla missing and shit. That's why he will hunt the phone up.
And still to this day, I have not watched the full entire live.
A peace plan for Gaza. For the plan to advance, Hamas must disarm.
Then people just started asking, you know, who is Gabby? What's the connection? And, you know, she told people that I was in Maryland for school, and it was just a whole entire thing. So, of course, I was angry and I was confused because what is going on?
That's what I'm saying.
I text her. I tell her that.
So why would they throw her? It's like they try to throw her in the mix. I don't know, bro. It's like she confused. She don't know what's going on. The best friend is like trying to, yeah, cause she his friend type shit, and y'all need to look at her like she trying to throw up her hunter of the bus, and she like, man, what the fuck really going on? Like, why you trying to make me a center of attention, and switching my narrative up. That's how I'm looking at the other friend. That's the part that I don't understand. Cause if she telling her go to the police, you need to tell, she must have knew something. It was a reason why he even called her. Not just to get some tea, but he could have used them as a scapegoat. No, that's how I'm gonna start looking at, cause it sounds like he was using them as a pawn. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could be actually innocent. And got game ran on them, bro. Got game ran on them. Don't know what this nigga up to, cause he cool. He the pharmacy guy. You know what I'm talking about? He the pharmacy guy. Not the pharmacy guy doing this. Yeah, the pharmacy guy. Them the one that usually drug women, strangulate women, and kidnap and kill them. And I wouldn't even be surprised. Shit, it could have happened to her. She got to be real lucky, bruh. It could have happened to her, bruh, and she did it and got her trust down with this dude. Look.
That was weird. And yeah. Then I started seeing posts of people saying that they think that I set Kada up and that why wouldn't I go to the cops and that I was just suspicious and all of this stuff. And this was never the case. So I do end up contacting the authorities after I seen people just making up crazy stuff about me and the situation. They cut me off. They tell me that they already know what's going on.
He already in custody, and the information he had, the police said they already know what's going on. But keep this in mind, they ain't found the body yet. So when you look at this story again, bruh, look at it. She down there, he already in custody. So at some point in time, he in custody while she going down there. Trying to give a what was supposed to be the narrative that he contact you, asked about her? The police should have took that serious. Like, okay, yeah, let me get that information, put that in our reports, cause that seems kind of suspicious that she come up missing. He killed her, then he asked, and it makes sense you stay close to her, so he's probably getting information from you and use you. You know what I'm saying? So what information that she would actually have to turn this whole investigation around when the police said, we already know what happened? If they already know what happened, why it took so long then to find the body in this location and you got the surveillance footage? You got the surveillance footage in the location. So when he turned himself in, he denied talking to a lawyer because he already know, yeah, it's over with. So only thing the police like, damn, who is the other dude or the other female? Because he did have help, right? So it's another person involved, including those two females. So it's a total of 4 people. Man, this shit. Why they did that girl like that? What make them do that girl like that? And don't y'all know what the crazy part about this stuff here?
Evidence that she was in communication with an individual
News conference
to meet her very shortly after she leaves her. She disappears off of the footprint. We have a lot of digital evidence, video and other, which provide individual by the name of Keon, Keon King, King. Through our evidence, we were able to charge.
Hold up.
This robotic puppy looks so real, it completely fooled my neighbor who's a veterinarian.
NBC 10 breaking news.
That breaking news right
Which provides.
I got to be they shit.
Our federal partners and Detective Daly and Detective Kremen have done an amazing job to get us where we are. Today I'm joined by Tracy Washington from our Victim Services Unit and also Bob Listenby, the first assistant of our office. What I can confirm is that our office, as of the early morning hours into the early morning hours this morning, did charge this individual with charges, the lead charge being kidnapping. You know, as we've said multiple times at this point, we do not know where Ms. Scott is. So at this point, our lead charge is kidnapping. What we're able to confirm and what I was able to charge based on is what we know, which has already been said, which is that this person, Mr. King, is the last person we believe to be in contact with her, and that he was in contact with her when she went offline, meaning her phone, everything. So at this point, the investigation has led us here, and we're able to charge him with kidnapping, recklessly endangering another person, use of a communication facility, meaning his phone. We were able to track his phone and communications on his phone. He's being processed as we speak. When I picked up this investigation, one of the things that our office also learned was that.
Man, you know what? After listening to this, man, don't you know technology is so in advance, man? You can actually catch people in the act now. When I mean in real time, I mean just say a missing person. If you got a real police force on the team and somebody call like, hey, my child is missing. And the police just instantly get on it and treat it like, you know what I'm saying, like a real missing person case. And you can actually trace the cameras back and see a suspect be at the hotel with a victim. You know what I'm saying? And you can close in because after that hotel, he might finna take her somewhere in the woods. You could actually catch somebody with all this technology, bro. Come on, man. Man, come on, man. All this technology, bro. It's just like Hollywood movies. I used to see Hollywood movies, especially like Die Hard and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know how like police, it be a serial bomb or something. Somebody finna blow up a building or something, and then you got Mel Gibson, you know, and Die Hard, and pull your man's back there. I think the building gonna blow, and a couple of seconds later, the bitch blow up. That's how advanced technology it is. Cause if they would have took it, check this out. If they would have took it serious, the way I just explained it, look what they would have found. If they would have locked down that whole area, man, that man wasn't able to move. Man, that car would still would have been in there, and that girl would still be in that car, bro, and they would have drawn attention to that car. You see what I'm saying? It shouldn't have been no way, bruh. She was already dead before the missing person report filed, but she gonna be right down the street from her house. And from her house, the police gonna be there at her house filing the missing person report. And look what Keon doing. Boy, that's so. If you look at this shit in real time, that man, her mama actually signing the signature on that missing person report, and you got this sucker ass nigga en route. That's crazy. And then he don't hear from these friends to the 9th. He don't hear none of, he spoke to them a week before it happened. And then after when that happens, after when it happened, when she got serious, she called him like, man, you know the girl missing? He hung the phone up. He already disposed the body, buried the body. Wherever he was at, he gonna have to still be at those 2 female locations. The police already done raided the house. So when you think about it, when she saying like, yeah, do you know the girl missing? You know what I'm saying? So just look at it like, did she call him before they raided the motherfucker? Or after when they raided the motherfucker? She called him at 1:52 on the 9th. And this in the afternoon, not in even in the morning. So I'm trying to basically figure out, is this, what's the real motive behind this shit? Cause clearly, it's no evidence that she could be jealous of her, and that her best friend jealous of her. It's like he got more a problem with her and the other 2 females that he was committing the crime with. So I'm trying to see, like, if they trying to make it look like, yeah, these 2 motherfuckers was a part of, but the whole time it's 2 different other girls that's involved in this shit. But when you think about a group, you would be like, well, why would he would call you out of all people? And if you said, yeah, I know the case, know what I'm saying? What if y'all know something and that's why your best friend like, bitch, go to the police because I don't want this to go back to us? Because you keep this in mind, police didn't release no statements or no phone records linking back to her or the best friend. Linking them. Yeah, they friends too. These text messages supposed to be a part of this investigation too. You see what I'm saying? I hope it ain't gonna be one of those cases be like damn, they only locking him up without another suspect. I wanna know how that would turn out. Like, if he get convicted, all the charges he could be convicted. If he get convicted, that means the case will be closed and have justice, or the case will still be over because it's other suspects. Somebody asked that question all over social media. If you got a suspect that's on video, look at it like a bank robbery. If you got 5 motherfuckers in the bank with guns, and one of them got exposed and going down, and if that person sign, get locked up, go to jail, and get convicted, would the case would still be open, or would the case would be closed? That's all I want to know. You know what I'm talking about? Cause I don't think you could convict nobody if the case is still open, right? Hey, I seen her arrest record. She got the same thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what exactly I'm saying. That's why I said, man, look. What if this a group thing? What if they was sure? Cause it ain't this mighty strange that you got 2 friends. They saying they best friends. and they coming off as like, girl, you know this. And they trying to make her look like she the jealous girl that set her up. You know what I'm saying? And she could be possibly dating Keon, and her best friend was in on it. You know, shit like that, right? So why try to throw that type of narrative on these people? And these people like, well, look, he called me September the 25th. But that's another red flag. Cause you was the first one he called when everything was in motion. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is, what if it be one of those cases? Okay, you lock Keon up. You got him. Let's see how the public gonna be like, yeah, we got Keon. But not say, yeah, we got the other dude too. You know, you can't root right now. You got one motherfucker. But you don't got the other motherfucker. So it ain't no time for rooting. It's time to keep that pressure going. That's all I'm saying. Cause maybe what if you keep that pressure going, bruh, maybe they story would crack. I don't know. This just a theory. What if they story, you know, come to find out that's why the police didn't want them include them in the paperwork because of shit. This was the distraction to throw everybody off, keep everybody in the hoop. I won't even be surprised, bro, that the same people that you see on the footage, check this out. The same, you might see him and another dude that's delivering a body. That don't mean they can still be in the car. The other bras too. Everybody could be in this car, bruh. I know the girl had to been scared and terrified on that ride on Stanton Street. Then turned on Anderson Street, bruh. That girl could have been, please don't kill me, y'all. I don't know. I ain't did nothing. I didn't mean nothing. I didn't do nothing. And you know what I'm saying? These folk could have took advantage of that girl because she just a nice ass female, bruh. Even the dude that she went on a date with said, man, yeah, man, look, I pulled down on her. She hopped right in the car. Ain't trying to make a sound like that, though, but you know what I'm saying? She a little friendly. It would make sense why she would get in the car. She could be one of those type of person, because you can look at all her profile pictures. You like, man, she ain't got no hard bone in her body. You know what I'm saying? This a feminine look. This a feminine girl here, you know? Motherfucker ain't thinking about no fight, no gang shit, talking about whooping the bitch. You know, this female in the makeup and wardrobe, and you know, this motherfucker, pretty motherfuckers don't fight. So basically what I'm saying, if they try to come out with a narrative made it look like it's a jealousy thing, and they're gonna point back to them like, yeah, they were jealous. What if it wasn't about that? What if it was put her to make us think they jealous of her, maybe think they got something to do with it and all this, and distract the narrative from what the real truth happened, you know? Cause y'all remember Kato Scott cousin, I think that's her aunt, her auntie. And she was the first one that said it's 3 people involved. 3 people? And she was accurate with that information. Whoa! You feel me what I'm saying, gang? You got to pay attention to this case. Catch this. You got one suspect. It's multiple suspects. that means, goddamn it, it's still more to this. You got to dig a little deeper. Don't sucker up for these people like, yeah, we got Keon. I want to see that bastard rot in jail. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Man, don't forget about the water suspect. Because that's the tricky part about it. Because everybody keep focusing on Keon. They got him. They just like you already pulled the fish out the water. And you know it's 3 more other motherfucking bastards in her. Don't celebrate too early. Don't celebrate too early, man. It's just like making 1 3-point shot, Swiss cheese, and you can't make the other 4. But you celebrate out that one like, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Guess what your defender, man, I'm finna block all that shit. I'm just saying, y'all, this is the way I'm looking at this case. Not only that all this shit going on, but look at other shit that's in the world that's going on. Like right here. Did y'all know, y'all remember the Houston Bayou, all those dead bodies that was floating in the river? Now they got bodies found there hanging on fire out the freeway and shit. And guess when this was? A couple of hours ago. Houston, they are investigating disturbing discovery made Thursday night up under the 610 North Loop East. What? On fire, y'all. Hanging on the fucking bridge. This was a couple hours ago. Let me pull up big for you. A couple hours ago, they said they thought it was a brush fire. And when the flame was out, they discovered a body hanging from the underside of the freeway. What you mean? Why you? But he was hanging. Keep this in mind. He was hanging and on fire. Where he was hanging from up on the hill? That's all I want to know. Need crime scene. But goddamn, he got to be hanging from this top part and set on fire, and goddamn it, and got to be hanging low to the ground for a person to be like, man, it look like a brush fire right over here, but it's a body the whole time. This was a couple hours ago. Basically, this happened yesterday. Last night, to be exact, Thursday, because you know, day Friday, right? You know what I'm about. Bam! Now, when you think about all those bodies in the bayou, you want me to tell me, man, Houston got a serial killer on the loose? Because he look like he finna turn up the water to fire. Sounds like finna be a lot of motherfuckers finna be catching on fire, right? I'm paying attention to the news, right? Look, I'm paying attention to the news because I'm like, damn, man. Man, these people, I don't think they actually seeing how the way I'm seeing how the world really cooperate. Because when you go back to this, now look, boom. Woman found dead in Richfield. Natural Senator identity. That was 9 hours ago. In Minneapolis, they heartbroken. Watch this. Look when they found her. October the 10th. Man, you got other people out here missing, bro. They need to go viral too. That's why a lot of videos go viral, because it would drown out the other murders that's a cover up. Look, Minneapolis, Ariel Johnson, 29 years old, reported missing, leaving Minneapolis, 7:25 a.m. on the 10th of October. You see what I'm saying? Her body was discovered on the 18th. Damn. Her body was discovered on the same day as goddamn it, Kada Scott. Shit. And she was in the Wood Lake Natural Center. You know what I'm talking about? Wood Lake Natural Center in Richfield, Saturday on the 18th. She was 29 years old with her 30th birthday approaching in December. She gonna be 30 in December, didn't even make it. She had a loving daughter, sister, cousin, friend. She was bright, caring soul. You know what I'm saying? A whole smile that lit up in the room, and that's her right there. That's her right there. I'ma dig into that shit. I'ma dig into that. They still trying to determine what was the cause of death. You know, but they don't give you too much information on this stuff, so they gonna have to make you really dig for it. But guess what else happened? Tragedy surrounding suicide at Disney superfan. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me they find that body too at Disney resorts? Tuesday morning, after receiving a distress signal from a guest, initially rumored that the resort, right? If y'all look how this shit is crazy, do y'all remember, like, y'all know when they come to hotel, if you look back in the old ancient time, they'll throw people off the roof. And they crash to the ground, and they'll tell everybody this person jumped off her and commit suicide. You see what I'm saying? When you go back and look at the Sicily Hotel with that lady they were found in the water tank, go look at the history of that hotel and look how many people commit suicide. Matter of fact, I done this. You do this too. Type in suicides at hotel, not on YouTube, not on Instagram, but Google or Yahoo, whatever the case. Go to Wikipedia and go look at the list of people. Like, damn, they throwing people off the roof. If they ain't throwing them off the roof, they drugging them down in the room, or they're drowning in the bathtub or a pool area, or mysteriously just freeze to death in the freezer. This shit coming through celebrities, movie actors, A1 celebrities. You know what I'm talking about? And you know what's the crazy part about it? The same people that own the hotel, it's the same people that these people die in their hotel. If you got a Crown Plaza in this state, there's your Crown Plaza in another state. If you look at all the luxury hotel when everybody go travel, look who everybody go to. It ain't nothing but a couple of fucking 5-star hotel that you're gonna check into, you know. IHG, there you go, Lena Love. And make it so bad. Check this out. When they come to the Kanika Jigga case, right? I told everybody, I'm like, look, y'all, I was working at a hotel too. I'm working at a hotel too in the kitchen when this shit happened, bruh. And I was like, damn. Come to think about it, the same people that was over our hotel, it's the same people that own all the hotels in all the cities. You know, I'm working here. I'm thinking like, yeah, this the owner right here. But it's a group of people. It's like a group of businessmen. They all came together and came up with a chain of hotel. All this influenced by the mob. The mob and the Illuminati. That's all it is. Before the hotel was public, check this out. If you look at ancient time the way I was looking at ancient time, you look at this hotel right here, right? They had these same buildings all the way back in the 9th century. It was structures built. You see, this built like a pyramid. You just missing the top castle of it. You know what I'm talking about? The hotel wasn't public like that. This is what people used to come in and do rituals in. Have their own private rooms and do what they do. You see what I'm saying? And somebody was like, man, we can make a business out here. Have people, you know what I'm saying? Boom, all over the world come to us and have some. I was looking up some old research. You can go to Egypt. You can go to Africa. Check this out. Bruh, when you think about Beauty and the Beast, y'all remember y'all were kids coming up, growing to Beauty and the Beast, right? Everybody grew up to Beauty and the Beast. I don't give a fuck if you was in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, or the 2000s. Guess what the Beauty and the Beast, y'all remember the castles? They was in castles. Where are the castles at right now? You can look it up. Go look at the castle and see where they all located. A castle is different from a palace. You see what I'm saying? A palace is different from a castle, bro. So when you think about the Lion King, you know that's in Africa, but why they made the characters in the lions? But don't you know the lions is actually real people and it's basically based on a real event? You see what I'm saying? It's basically on a real event in wars and shit. Guess who the hyenas would be? So look, they said this lady commits suicide. And this a hotel, they said, is known for suicide. Right here. Body found at the Disney resort. Right? Apparently suicide, deputy said. Let me go to the part where they said this is a By the way, this is her right here. Her name was Summer. God damn it. Hold on. I gotta read this. So you got a body that allegedly supposed to jump off the building and landed close by the pool area. And she came there to commit suicide. Hold on. Matter of fact, let me read it. This ain't the page though. Right here, I skipped it too early. Oh, this ain't the yes it is, yes it is. A woman has been identified as Summer. She was 31, a resident Naperville, Illinois. Right? Her friends and family, right, said she was dedicated to a Disney superfan. Now, she a Disney superfan, 31 years old. She was inspired by The Beauty and the Beast. Keep this in mind. These is real life events. A real character. They just gave you a cartoon character. This is why, you know what I'm saying? So she was expressing her dreams of portrayal of Belle one day, her vibrant. Look, they said the lady would look. She shared the love for the Disney culture in memory photos with the CEO of Bob. I looked up who Bob is. I'm like, she got photos with the Disney CEO with Bob. Everybody go look who Bob is. I did. And I'm like, damn, she got a picture with Bob. Right? About 10 months before her passing, right, she had announced that she was pregnant on Facebook. In the weeks leading up to her trip, however, were no further updates about her condition or communication with her loved ones raised serious concerns regarding the emotional state. Reported that, you know what I'm saying, the girl was on a journey to Disney, to the resort, without informing her family. So she traveled alone. Ain't no telling what they got going on with the Disney Super Club fan. So she traveled to Disneyland alone. And her family will look. Check this out. She went alone without telling anyone. And they filed a missing person report out on her. Right? This suddenly announced a trip they promoted and they discussed her mental state. Oh, now they trying to say she mental ill. And trying like, yeah, you know, she mental ill, you know what I'm saying? You know, and stuff like this. And it would start raising eyebrows, right? Sound like some kind of cult shit going on. The lady ended up dead. That she committed suicide. She ended up jumping off of a roof. Right? You got people always speculating the devil like, man, look, man, it's a conspiracy theory to it. But the way they gonna put it out, like, yeah, you know, she had mental issues and you know what I'm saying, and she maybe going through some things at the house, but the family like, man, there ain't no such thing, no mental illness with her, you know what I'm saying? Why would she form a trip? Ain't no telling. But watch what they say, why joy and magic are often synchronized with Disney. The need for compassion to understand the surrounding mental health struggle remain. Now look, you got people that give in to magic, bruh. Magic, joy, like Alice Wonderland. All that shit really Santana when you really look into this shit. So basically, another story. Body of a woman, baby girl, and a 6-year-old body found in Lake Michigan. Now, this was on September the 14th, 2025. Look at how many people that we got to talk about. I'm starting to realize that, man, there be so many murders that be going on at one time. They give us one viral video like, yeah, boom, boom, put that out. This viral, everybody finna get talk about that murder. And they'll drain all of this information out. You see what I'm saying? Man, when I tell y'all, bro, in September, I made a post about this. Bro, I made a post about this stuff. I just want to go to the post that I made when I said, man, when you read your Bible, when you think about the sun, right here, this was a month ago. Go outside and see the morning star. Something about to happen. Read the Bible about the morning star Venus. Right? I just dropped this a month ago. And I went live. I remember I went live and I'm like, yeah, y'all don't be surprised when you're gonna have mothers killing kids. You're gonna have mothers killing kids, or a husband kill a wife, or a wife kill a husband, or it's gonna be a setup or some type of ritual going on. Cause you know what I'm saying, all this shit got to happen round about this time. That's why you got Kanika Jenkins case. That's why you got all the other cases dealing with the, you know what I'm saying, the Sky case, you know what I'm saying? Damn. I'm like, what? Look. When I went outside, this in the morning, sun rising. This is sun rising. In the morning. I said, man, look. How about if you read your Bible when you was like, damn, Lucifer the sun in the morning, and you only see him at a particular time frame with the crescent moon. That's why you got the crescent moon with the 5-point star. This shit gets so deep because the Bible speaks of that. This going on 7 o'clock. Check this out. Make it so bad, the sun came out and the moon and that star still was lit up. I watched it. This what happened, y'all. I got up early that morning, like about 5 o'clock. I said, damn, boy, that junk shining bright. And I was like, man, I remember that Jay-Z song, Lucifer, Lucifer, the son of the morning, I'm gonna catch you out of the earth. Lucifer, Lucifer, the son of the morning, I'm gonna catch you. So I understand. I'm like, damn, I see the sun. The sun rising. I see the sun and the moon and the stars. Man, the Bible told me, no wonder why Egypt was so advanced and they knew about the sun and the moon. Because they looked up at the stars. They looked up at the moon. They know the sun. They know what season when demons finna come through, you know what I'm saying? And they know what time. That's why you got September, right? What holiday that's famous in September, right? Then you finna get November. Know what Thanksgiving, right? You know you got October. That's Halloween, right? Then you got December. Oh, that's the birth of Jesus. January, New Year, February. Let's breathe again. Everybody fuck. Valentine's Day. Give me some flowers and fuck. Got St. Patrick's Day, everybody wear green, goddammit, so I won't pinch you, you know what I'm saying? Then April Fool's Day. Then you got April Fool's Day, then you got March with this goddamn Easter bunny shit going on. You know, Christ reborn again. Then he was just born, you know, in December, right? Yeah, what they said, December. Yeah, let go with Christ. That's why we celebrate Christmas, right? But now, as I said, we really praising old Saint Nick. Who is Saint Nick? Santa Claus. Santa Claus? Yeah, that's what they told y'all, but the real Santa Claus was named Saint Mick. You know, just like Saint John, you know, Saint Luke, you know what I'm saying? And you know, like Valentine's Day, yeah, Valentine's Day stand for you know, get your girl some, and you know what I'm saying, and you know, now you represent Saint Valentine, cause Saint Valentine were massacring Christians because of Jesus. Shit, ain't had shit to do with love. You know what I'm talking about? So I was like, man, all these holidays, Saint Patrick's Day. They gave us a little green little leprechaun. A little green man, you know, but he ain't green, he just wear the color green and gold, talk about the pot of gold. But he was an actually real person named Saint Patrick. And we're talking about bishops and pastors and shit. We're talking about bishops and pastors, priests and prophets and shit. You know what I'm talking about? So when you think about Valentine, is that to get everybody to lush, commit sin with your side boo instead of your girl, your wife, you know? Everybody that's cheating and shit, fornicating if you ain't married. Sound like a promotion and marketing deal to me. Go look at the holiday that you worshiping. Just say, like, for a prime example, why Thanksgiving got to be on this certain day and month? Go back to real history and look at the wars of the Indian. Man, they poison the food. That's why they was so sick. That's why they was so sick. And goddamn, when they ate that food, they look at Jonestown Massacre. Y'all remember when he had everybody drink the Kool-Aid and everybody just got to dropping like flies, cooling women and kids. That's the same thing that went for the Indians. Real talk. Man, look, I will pull the Bible up right now. I had went live like 2 years ago, cause it was a lady's daughter come up missing. And she was on the Dr. Phil channel. Do y'all remember that? Tell me if you remember that. When I went live, it was a lady on Dr. Phil. She was like, her daughter was in this gang, and she felt like the gang was stalking her daughter, and they got something to do with her death. And she believed the reason why her daughter died because she was like, people thought she was crazy when she was like, look, it's a certain time when you see the moon and the star. That's when it's something about to happen. That means it's rituals finna happen. It's rituals finna happen. All right, hold up. Matter of fact, September, October, and November, that's when all the murders go viral and fucked up ass cover ups. Hold on. Let me pull something up while y'all watch this video.
That he did have a previous case. It was a 2025 case for very similar conduct, strangulation and kidnapping. That case had been withdrawn by our office based on the witness failing to appear at court. I pulled that file, and after an extensive review of it, our office made the decision to refile those charges. We believe there is enough to proceed, and we also do believe that this is a pattern for this person. That refile was filed yesterday. He was served on that as a part of our conversation with him. Him being here and being processed on the new charges, he was served for that, so he will also be facing a preliminary hearing on that previous kidnapping case as well. So at this point, he will have 2 open kidnapping cases that will face preliminary hearings in the coming months.
I don't know if there's any questions.
For the district attorney's office, how many times does a defendant, does the case appear before a judge that it's then withdrawn? I mean, how many times does this matter come before a judge and the decision then gets made as withdrawn?
It depends. In this specific case, what I could tell you is that after the first listing, when the victim failed to appear, the case was marked what I'll call must be tried, which is a little bit of a court lingo, but basically saying if it's not tried by the next listing, it'll either be dismissed or withdrawn. It was marked that way after the first listing when she didn't appear in court. And then at the second listing, when again we didn't have the witness or the victim in court, it was at that point withdrawn given the previous marking.
Man, look, it's just so crazy to me. Check this out. The police need to do a better job, bro. Cause they could tell you, they could solve a murder. From the technology, for what they got, you got cameras on the street pole. You got public cameras on gas station, private business, public business. It's cameras everywhere. You could catch a fucking rat fucking a cat if you're really looking for it. Your technology is so in advance. If you get an Amber Alert, just say if you get a phone call from a parent say, hey, my daughter been abducted. We sending the police over to your house right now. Boom. They finna send the police and now the timestamp be like, okay, you say you seen last seen your daughter at 9:30. Just say the police were really on their job. That's what the police supposed to do. Dispatch, since we got all cameras around the city, the same camera that we could ticket everybody on when they speeding and running red lights, can you look out for a blue pickup truck? Cause this person been abducted from this area 5 to 10 minutes ago. He ain't getting far. And then just look at, they can just boom pull. Look, all the camera gonna be pulling. They can check that sucker in real time and stop a murder before it even happen. They can stop a rape before it happen. They can catch a suspect before he do any bodily harm and run to his destination, because you're supposed to have police on the streets. You supposed to have police on the streets. So this is like, I'm like, damn, why is y'all, you got video, your technology, but y'all act like, man, you ain't got no up-to-date technology. You still running off goddamn in the 90s data, like, yeah, you know, shit, that shit run slow. Why pull all these police cameras at every red light? You got those cameras on when people speeding. Let them run a red light. They get a ticket in the mail, right? You get a ticket in the mail. You mean to tell me those cameras finna be on 24/7 and you mean to tell me you can't find a motherfucker route? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I can get a ticket in the mail. Man, you ran around this light and you was speeding 5 miles over. You going to court on this shit. You goddamn skip it. Look. Another lady missing. A mother of 6 confirmed dead. Skeleton remain in the wooded area. And this was in July 2024, bro. And it was updated September the 9th, 2025. Updated. What the update about? Bam. Once you start reading this shit, look how many other people, bro, that need cases solved in the tension. Not just one.
I do not, but I'm sure we can get that.
Yeah, I'll get it.
The video,
You see what I'm saying?
the area of do we believe that's the vehicle that?
So this vehicle has been traveling all over the city. So we do believe this video is involved.
They know the video been what? Just like I said, auto traffic cameras.
The vehicle has been traveling all over the city.
My point exactly. My point exactly, bro. Man, we need to make a law. This what the black people, not only the black people, but every community, every race, if the police got a traffic camera on your street lights, at your traffic lights, it shouldn't be, that's your security. That's what the taxpayer pay for. If I send my child to a corner store, if anything happened to my motherfucking child, you better show that camera. That means I'm finna be protected when I leave my house. My kids can be safe. Cause cameras watching and everything. How in the fuck that you can show gas station shootings? Pow, 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 pow. Crime scene, people running, people thumbing up, liking this shit. Cause you actually seeing murders being committed, people getting shot. But not people getting abducted though. Cause at the same gas station and corner store that these people come up missing was heading that way or leaving that way. And it's a traffic camera always watching. Man, I know the cameras for real. Man, look. I walk my dog. I walk my dogs, bro, in the neighborhood. And this a neighborhood, man, you will see white people jogging 3 in the morning. Nothing strange about that. Jogging. You see goddamn it, old people in the morning walking 5 in the morning. Nothing strange about that in this neighborhood. You know, you got people that be walking, jogging, you know, early in the morning or in the midday or at night. That's normal around here. You got people that'll walk a dog. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, everybody on the street got cameras. If you jump in your car right now, no, you can just, matter of fact, just walk, go out your house right now and just walk down the street. You could just walk, not even a block down. You just say walk 10 houses down. How many people they got cameras facing the public street? So that means if I got shot somewhere in this location, you mean to tell me, just say you got a McDonald's and all this, you show parking lot footage and you see a car sped out and you talking about, we looking for this black car that fled the crime scene. Damn, you can't trace that car back to all those city goddamn cameras and not come down my street. Cause I got cameras too. I can show you the route too. He came by my house like, whoop whoop. Shit, 150 miles an hour. What time you seen this? Shit, it was at around about 9:30. Crime happened at around about 28. It's 2 minutes. How far you? Yeah, I'm about 3 miles from the crime scene. Damn, so he was punching that motherfucker. Yup. Yeah, we said he was in the Hellcat. Shit, goddamn 800 something horses. Yeah, he can get there in less than 2 seconds. I'm just saying, bruh. Only time when they show you a camera, they'll show you a traffic stop on that motherfucker. Somebody ran a red light, bloopers, boo, crazy drivers type shit. Oh, look at this gas station shooting, pow, pow, they got snoop, damn, that's fucked up. Or you see somebody stealing, you know what I'm saying? Why you never see nobody getting abducted? And they always last seen at a corner store, going to a store or leaving the store, close to their neighbor, close to their home, and there's cameras everywhere. Bye, y'all. Man, let me play one more video, gang. Goddammit, we gonna do it like this.
So we do believe this video is involved in what we're talking about, and we have it all over the city in concert with how he's moving as well. Yep, we have the date of birth for you. It is 5/6/2004. So 5/6/2004.
Do you guys know how the two knew each other, how long it had been, and is this the specific individual that Kada had expressed concern about, specifically harassment?
I'm not willing to comment on that at this time. That's still very much being investigated in terms of their relationship and how long they knew each other.
So the significance of the car right now, the urgency, if you will, can you address why you believe people need to find this car?
Sure, I can certainly comment on that, or if you want to. I mean, at this point, we believe he is connected to this vehicle. We also believe she may have been in that vehicle.
As far as the other case, the kidnapping case,
Yes.
can you just explain some of the circumstances surrounding that case, as brief as you would be?
Sure. That case is an individual that was known to him, a domestic in nature. And what I can say is the allegations in that case are that he kidnapped a woman in front of her house, threw her in her car, assaulted her, and then eventually let her out of the car. There is some video evidence, I believe, that'll be played at the preliminary hearing, but that was domestic in nature.
And do you have a time or about when that happened?
It was this year in 2025. The case was withdrawn in May, so it predates that by a little bit.
Where was the last location this car was seen?
I don't know if we have exactly the last location, but what I can say is through our investigation, it was tracked all over the city, in multiple areas of the city in multiple different time periods throughout, the entire length of this investigation.
When police were at an address in Southwest Philadelphia last Thursday night, was that one of his addresses?
It was one of the addresses connected to this investigation.
Do you believe anyone else might be helping King or possibly be driving that vehicle for him?
In terms of other people being involved, I don't have comment on that at this time. It's still very much being investigated. There have been several phone numbers involved that we've been tracking, but all roads at this point lead to him, and so that's what we're hoping leads us to her.
After she arrives at work at 10 o'clock, how big is the time window when she actually remains at work before leaving?
Yeah.
She's not there long at all. She gets there maybe just before 10, and right after she's out, maybe 20 minutes. That's what I'm told.
Are they communicating at this point?
We believe they are, yeah.
Do you know how the two knew each other?
I don't know their relationship. Obviously, they had a connection. They're going back and forth, and they've known each other for a short time, but I don't know how long.
Do you know if she was willingly meeting him or?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
Take a couple more questions as we get this information out there. 2 more questions.
I just wanted to see is he saying anything?
And this a study tool, cause if you looking at the way I'm looking at it, just listen to the police. If you got the documents that the police were doing an investigation, right? This just to show you if this law enforcement was on business or was they was buying time. Cause that's too much time to discover a body 2 weeks later. 2 weeks later. And you can trace the family members back to some people with some money. I'm talking about that's how he can make a $200,000 bond, bro. A $200,000 bond is really $20,000. You basically got to put up a house. You just can't. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah, I got cash. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna need cash and collateral. Everybody know that when you make bond, especially that bond. So somebody's house will put up in case he missed the bond and they have collateral. Cause they finna cover for the $200,000. If you know how the bond work, you know what's going on, right? So whoever made the bond, immediately his name is on the bond. Once you find out whose name is on the bond, won't it make sense why he was getting out so fast, so early with special privilege? Like, who is this? You know, dreadhead nigga here getting out on a $200,000 bond and make it immediately. And then the police got to come out and be like, well, damn, you know, no, it's a flaw in the jurisdiction. You know, he shouldn't have been out and all of this old shit. But goddamn, though, how much power this little nigga here got? Cause from what I trace his family members, from what I'm learning from his family members, I see why nobody ain't really just talking. Cause if you got family members that's child protective service, they could take your kids. Then you got the mammy work at a children's hospital, they can poison your kids and diagnose your kids. Then they work with the police department, you know what I'm saying? They gonna have covered up this shit. Then you gonna have fake ass narrative from people in the hood, but like, yeah, you know, you need to take this to the police report and all this. While we been entertained on the night, check this out. Do you notice that the investigation was slick silent between the 9th going on the 15th? That's a whole week. That's a whole fucking week. So in that whole week, guess what we got? YouTube videos. With this.
Do you need $300, $500, or even $1,000 fast?
And that I was just suspicious and all of this stuff. And this was never the case. So I do end up contacting the authorities after I seen people just making up.
So why we get this and this is discretion and making everybody think, well, they got something to do with it, and they may have something to do with it. They may not have nothing to do with it. But why we get this narrative, including the best friend narrative, to throw us off for at least a couple of days leading up to a week? Not only that, you got the auntie on her talking about it with 3 people involved. One of them is a dreadhead dude, and you know what I'm saying? There were 2 girls.
Crazy stuff about me and the situation. They cut me off. They tell me that they already know what's going on, you know, that they have a close eye on the social media. And they also tell me that my friend did come forth with the information, and they told her that there was nothing that they can do, that the information that she bought them was useless information because they already had Keon in custody, and it was just nothing for them to do with this information. They told me to contact them only if I had anything that could lead to finding Kada, because that is their main priority. Now, I do believe that the person in the live was just kind of taking what I told her and running with it and just spicing it up to make it seem like something that it wasn't for, I don't know, maybe views. People were saying that, you know, she was walking around and showing what stores Kada would go to, where she would walk her dog, and just stuff like that. I also had one of our mutual friends come to me, and he told me that she told him that we knew Kada our whole lives and like we grew up with her, which wasn't the case because we grew up with her little sister. Now, I do think that the person in the live was taking what I told them and kind of just running with it and spicing it up to make it seem like it was way bigger than what it was. And I basically think this because I had a mutual friend that came to me and said that she came to them and told them that we knew Kada our whole life and that we...
So why the best friend will be going out and doing all of this? It's a reason behind all this. Seems like somebody trying to shift this investigation and have everybody to focus on her and the best friend, and to be like, yeah, y'all set her up, y'all were jealous of her, and you know what I'm saying, and all this. And that ain't even the case. Cause once you look at his motive, it's unclear what his motive. Nobody don't know why he harassing her, threatening her. And after all that, she agreed to meet with him. The girl was basically reaching out to her family members to let them know what's going on. So the girl had to been that goddamn scared, bro. That scared to hop in the car. Just imagine she get to the car. It ain't Keon's car. It's a stolen car. She ain't thinking about no stolen car, nothing. Walking up to the car, next thing you know, it's over with. Just imagine you just seen your child leave, go to work. 30 minutes later, your child dead, and you just finna, man, I'm finna lay it on down, go to sleep, wake up in the morning, damn. My goddamn baby ain't here. She usually come in here around about this time. Bam, something ain't right. Let me call. You know, that's the crazy part about it. Cause when that's going on, look what Keon doing at the same time. That's when people get they father guts or they mother guts. We like, something just ain't just right. Something just ain't right. And that's why something ain't just right. Cause look what be going on at that time while you having a good feeling. I believe the reason why people feel that good feeling because that's a part of you. A life has been taken and it's just like a signal like, wake up, something ain't right, you know what I'm saying? Your spirit just naturally deserve, you know what I'm saying? So when you go back to the crime scene, it all makes sense. That man got family members all up the roof. Ditched the car, killed the girl, left her body there. Right? the two girls that talking about, yeah, I don't understand why my best friend saying that we growed up, but in reality, we growed up with the susu. So the best friend caused the confusion, switching up her other friend story. And while all of that's going on, you can't tell me there was a distraction. When this man heard them bury the body, cover the crime scene up, and the police needed more time on this shit, bruh. That's a whole week. Hi y'all. Man, Trey ain't finna get on up about this jump, man. I might go live later on tonight, depends on how I feel, you know what I'm talking about? But goddamn, bro, that's cold how the way they did that girl. And man, and I just want everybody to take these murders serious, cause we just don't know, man, we may be victims. You know what I'm saying? Don't get too attached to social media. Cause this like candy to a child. If you got a child, man, and on these social media be like, oh, I like this content, I like this creative content, and I like this, and man, what Kaniga taught me, I never trust a YouTube again. Cause once you showed me that, man, you was a YouTuber creating content and covering up the murder and you want the footage, I never look at this shit the same. I never look at this shit the same, bro. And the same motherfuckers that was on the Kaniga Jigging case, bro. It's the same people that still got other accounts going live like it ain't never happened and talking about a totally another subject. I never, if it wasn't for Kaniga Jigging, I'd still be on YouTube, social media, laughing and giggling, you know what I'm saying, at this entertainment shit. Like, yeah, I like this video comedy. Even though you get entertainment out of social media, you see video that's no harm, that make you laugh. You got certain creative content make you think. Like, yeah, man, I never thought about that till you say that. You got favorite creative content that can cook food, and you might want to look up a good recipe right quick, you know what I'm saying, and cook some, you know. All that's cool, fine and dandy. But if you get used to that, just like if you watch FBI Files, and if you love murders that you cannot solve, they will make a conspiracy. They will make a murder generate more money, more views, and you know what I'm saying, and more clout. But once you got the truth, it exposed police departments, corruption, and all of that. I've been trying to tell everybody about Crime Con. Nobody don't believe me when I tell everybody about Crime Con. Go to Crime Con. Watch this. Thumb me up right now, and if you want Trey Gang, tell y'all, Trey Gang, what's up with this Crime Con? Cause you been talking about this shit, and you talking about this is what these YouTubers be going to this Crime Con inventions, and they gonna working with the police. Yeah, they working with the police, bro. They working with the police so cold. Check this out. If you think I'm lying, I can say this right now. If you go right now and Google this. You go on to YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Go look at all the virus videos. There's like murders, kidnappings, you know what I'm saying, assaults or whatever, shit like that, right? Go look at the creative content and be like, yeah, that creative content got thousands of views, you know, thousands of followers, 100,000 followers, closely to 1 million, right? And so once you look at crime con, you be like, oh, that's why the YouTuber will collaborate with each other just for the P. Diddy trial. Remember, although somebody naming in my chat right now, when it came to the P. Diddy trial, name some of those YouTubers that was at the P. Diddy trial, standing outside the court like the paparazzi. Drop it in my chat right now, and I just want to prove a point. I just want to prove a point. This was gonna make Trey Gang the most hated person in the YouTube streets. Cause once I started learning about the Kanika Jigga case, and you know what I'm saying, then when I had to go through YouTube and all this, and YouTube told me, well, these the guidelines, you can't say this, you can't say that, you know what I'm saying? But I go against the guidelines. Trey Gang went against the guideline, bro, that the shit that I supposed to been saying supposed to been shadow banned, it wasn't supposed to be heard. But the message was so strong that the people, I broke the barrier like, damn, man, Trey Gang, man, breaking this case down and solve this motherfucker. But the only problem was I was still in the dark when it came to, I got everything that's right. But my biggest downfall was trying to pinpoint a time frame like you see on this map. Now, what I mean, like when you go to the Kanika Jean case, think about, oh, they said she walked in the library. They said she done walked down the lower level. They said she done walked in the kitchen. If Kanika would have had her phone and I did an investigation and it was like, damn, the people throw me off, and you know what I'm saying? I got people trying to help me, but I got same people still throwing me off. But if we had Kanika phone, and I was like, man, if the police weren't so corrupt and Mr. Rizzo was so corrupt with these police officers, this what Kanika phone would have showed. She enters to the parking garage, come in, boom, 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 with her family and friend. And she came, look, once she came in, boom, she walked back out and walked around the building. That's where her body gonna be found there. But you see all the goddamn traffic going to her and there. I mean, if you got his location, Kilo King, you know what I'm saying, and his phone data, and it's showing you a route. Damn, look how this man trapped from here to there, here to there, here to there. Time frame here. They got time frame there. And you mean to tell me, bro, goddamn it, Kanika phone will be pinging? Man, they would have showed. Oh, she came in the lobby. Oh. Her phone showing, especially got an iPhone, and you know you got a walk app on that motherfucker, and they tell you, yeah, distance of walk and what route you took, and just say, what if Balls was Kanika walked out the lobby and walked back towards the pool area in the kitchen? That's on the parking lot footage. But the hotel said, hey, she walked through the elevators and went to the kitchen. But what you gonna go with? The hotel said she walked down on the lower level, or her phone would ping walking outside, going back in. With that being said, that's why Mr. Reese agreed to seal the court papers. And Kanika is the only case that the hotel did not want to ping location because it's so accurate. Check this out. I iPhone is so accurate when it comes to a location, bro. They could look at these as pin. Oh, she came in the lobby. Boom. Oh, you say she walked down front desk? Yeah, she walked. She came in line, walked back front desk, and went to the kitchen. Oh, it's a long hallway? Yeah, so once you come in the kitchen, you gotta turn to her. Then once you get to her, you in the kitchen. You see what I'm saying? That's the way I'm looking at the Kaniga Jigga case. Man, this shit got me mad, bro. This got me mad. Cause if you look at all the pings, that's how it's supposed to show on the video footage. When it comes to Kaniga Jr., her iPhone tracked her every move. I had an Android. And that motherfucker tell me how many steps I take a day. Yeah, you took 2,000 steps a day, you complete your goal. Know what I'm talking about? The cell phone with the pen be like, well, damn. If she came from this person, just say this. That's how the police know that if she left her job at, just say at 10:20, it would make sense when they said if she arrived here at 10:23, 2 to 3 minutes after leaving her job, that means they automatically killed that girl on the route and had the body in the car. And it will show you how fast the car going. If you get to here to there at a certain amount of minutes, you know how fast that person was traveling. It would be a different if I would just lure somebody from the job and we walk her. Time would be totally different. If I walk or if I'm in the car. You see what I'm saying? Oh, everybody say Tish Tails, you know what I'm saying? Hold up. Y'all want to name y'all? Everybody know Tish Tail. Check this out. When it comes to the P. Diddy trial, go to Trish Tail Wiggins. It's a Chinese lady named Rotten Tomatoes. Look at all those YouTuber creator content that was standing outside that court and keeping everybody up to date. Up to date on the P. Diddy trial. And every last one of them got highlighted on CBS and Fox News, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, this is you two, the creative content, and you've been covering the case, and you've been making some pointers or two. Can you tell the public, you know what I'm saying, since you've been out there at the court every day? Yes, you know what I'm saying? You know, P. Diddy, you know what I'm saying? He was oiling niggas up and you know what I'm saying? And smacking niggas on the cheeks and you know, and all this in the courts. It said P. Diddy got a great beard and no play for Mr. Gray, you know what I'm saying? He looked disgraced and you know what I'm saying? And all this old stuff. Cassidy came, look at T. Ted. Cassidy came out and let me tell you, honey, she done spilled the tea. That lady got beat up in front of that captain. And you, I remember that little, know what I'm saying, Tish Tea, but the whole time she was working with them people, bro. She was working with them people, bro. All you got to do is, and then you will see what I'm saying. I promise y'all will see what I'm saying. You're gonna be like, damn, Trey, ain't no wonder why they got all those views. They was coach. YouTube gonna market them, be like, yeah, this the hottest channel. Cause you know, Fox News losing when it comes to influencers. Y'all ain't noticed that? Check this out. Thumb me up if you notice this. For a prime example. Hold on. For a prime example, right? Trey Gang so cold with this shit. Hold on, y'all. Y'all see this paperwork right here? Y'all see this YouTube creator content? I'm not a hater. I'm not no YouTuber creator content. I don't give a fuck about this YouTube shit, bruh. This Facebook, this media shit. I don't give a fuck about none of this shit. Cause if I did, bruh, I could be the hottest thing in the YouTube, Facebook, Instagram street and just delivering content. But I see how the way the game go. And I'm like, man, I'm at my league. So when I say this, have you noticed? Thumb me up when I say this. When I say when you got YouTubers, and I mention CrimeCon, I'm like, look, y'all, CrimeCon gonna finna send the YouTubers on you. And when they send them YouTubers, that's why they the first one that can give you paperwork. Why the police didn't release this before they get it? That means we're gonna give it to y'all. That's how much power influencer got over the police department. I'm just saying. But look, the same paperwork that she giving y'all, look, it's the same paperwork they already had. That's crazy. Hey, in case it's a cover up, look, we're gonna give it to y'all. Y'all break it down. Y'all break it down, cause we ain't gonna release this. We're gonna release it to y'all. Let y'all explain this. We not. We just gonna see how y'all handle this. And if you handle this right, we'll give you a spotlight on our channel. So this is what we're gonna do. You come to CrimeCon, we'll give you the information, and you will outdo anybody else that's not a part of this shit. And you know, we don't know what I'm talking about. So like for a prime example, Trey Gang on the case, right? They say Trey Gang on the case. I'm doing research. Whole time I'm digging in. I'm trying to find out what's going on. But all of a sudden, these people got first-hand access to the evidence. I peeped that. I'm just saying, look. Just look at it. You mean to tell me the police didn't have and seen all of this already on camera when they trace his car back, why they didn't show, they didn't report when it comes to this?
For the watch. Detectives did observe potential sources of surveillance attached to the rec center that was closed at that time. On the 18th of October of 2025, detectives Kelly and Claire confirmed video related to Kada Scott was stored, and detectives Luke and Wilson responded to recover footage. A preliminary review.
And if you listen closer, they said they restored, they got footage for the tent. That's when they were watching the footage on the tent. That's crazy. You got the footage on the tent. Why you find about it on the 18th, 8 days later after when you got the footage and you seen all this? So that mean to tell me you saw the murder on video, you saw the cars, you saw the participants, you saw all of this on video. That you just released it to us now and talking about, yeah, this what happened. But you didn't know that's what happened before the night? After the tent, you got the surveillance footage. So you got 8 fucking days to do what? Come up with some. So when you come up with something, it sound like this.
We grew up with Kada. When that wasn't the case, we grew up with her little sister. My prayers go out to Kada and her family, and I hope that she can make a safer. So I'm going to be addressing some of y'all's comments.
Have you been wanting to create passive income? If yes, then I need you at my free beginner investors class, giving you the.
Damn, boo. You know, I might want to check into that later on since you kind of cute with your drawed on eyebrows. And you know, hold on, wait a minute. You look like one of those AI motherfuckers. Now, you ain't finna trick me. Because you know what? I was almost a victim, y'all. I was almost a victim, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking and rapping on the phone with somebody, you know what I'm saying? They're hooking me up and shit. Like, yeah, Trick, I think this is the perfect one for you. And a motherfucker, you know, I talk on the phone, you know. Yeah, you know, I'm hearing the voice. It sounds like a Dollar Parking voice, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, ooh, you talk like that, you know what I'm saying? She like, yo, you know, I'm like, wow, you know, gee whiz, you know, this is my dream, you know what I'm saying? And somebody talk like Michelle Olay, cause everybody know who Michelle Olay is, right? You know, Michelle Olay was fine, and she had one of the most songs, bruh. That Michelle Olay, that song, I don't give a fuck. That broke every nigga down like, ooh, man. And then when I actually heard her talk, I'm like, you sound like that? Oh, shit, I'm in love, you know what I'm saying? And then look. So I'm like, yeah, look, this how she look. And when I'm like, yeah, send me a picture. And she sent me, I'm like, okay, now I see you now, you know what I'm saying? Because every nigga, you know, I really high, drunk, fucked up, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, let me rap with you. And she talking like this.
A step-by-step process to show you how you can invest in billion-dollar businesses with small amounts of money, but also create passive income.
And then when you take that Snapchat filter off that motherfucker, Jack, and you look like something like this. Let me pull that picture up. I got download. And this a motherfucker that was on goddamn it, Kaniga Jenkins case. I should put it, look, yeah, right here. Here go that bitch. And then look, when you take that field off on that motherfucker, that bitch look like this. Like, whoa, wait a minute, boo. Yeah, you want me to send you? Yeah, send me a picture right quick, cause the conversation, just imagine how much time a motherfucker done wasted. Like, yeah, what are you looking for? Yeah, I'm just looking for a nigga that treat me like a female, like a queen, cause you know what I'm saying, I'm queen status, and niggas don't know how to treat me, and you just don't know you been tricked by a boogie bell. Lord, you don't waste your time. Like, you don't look at the other man. This bitch got 21-inch of pipe thorns. I can't do nothing but think about Hulk Hogan. What are you gonna do when you 21 pipe thorns run wild on you? You know what I'm talking about? You could choke a nigga ass out with these guns here, man. I think we need to pass a law. If the bitch got guns like this, you got to register these motherfuckers. Yeah, they deadly weapons. Yeah, they deadly weapons. You got to treat these like a felony. If she come and try to choke you out with this motherfucker, this tempt murder charges. Yeah, them tempt murder charges. And then look at her body. Oh my God. Same motherfucking bitch try to get Trey Gang. We're like, yeah, look, don't follow Trey Gang, y'all. He a fraud and all this, but bitch, you the real fraud. Cause I went on your goddamn page and bitch, you had so many activator means on that motherfucker. Like, damn, bitch, you living in illusion, is it? I mean, gee whiz. I'm looking at everything. I won't trust a bitch this size. Talking about, they said they got room service, bitch. We don't see this on the order. Whole line like a motherfucker, charging it to these people credit card. Like they said they want some more wings. She scamming that. Now look, she done look. Now they get a bill, be like, damn, did y'all order 150 wings? Nah, we ain't order none of that. You sure you ain't order no lemon pepper wing? Cause it was charged to your room. And this thing, the vessel, the detective showed up, find out this shit fraudulent. The employee involved and had credit card information. And the first thing this bitch did was charge it to a Uber's Eats. Yeah, can I get a burrito wrap, please? Yeah, everything on it and a large sweet tea. Then the bitch gonna have it delivered at the front desk, and the bitch gonna pick it up like ain't nothing happened, like. And she probably will put in a goddamn 1-star review, be like, you were late 2 minutes. With those burrito wraps. Look at the jawline. Them motherfucker made for munching. No, them jump made for munching. Like, yeah, this motherfucker made for gripping and biting all kind of neck bones, chicken fried wings, ribs. This shit here crushing through ribs, hips, and everything. You know what I'm Man, that lady might bust a bag of Ruffles cheddar cheese chips and crunch that motherfucker. That motherfucker might sound like an earthquake. Look at it, y'all. Look at those 21-inch pipe thorns. She ain't got no 6-pack. The bitch got a 1-pack. That motherfucker shaped like one of those Spartan shields. Y'all see that movie Sparta? Leonidas, goddammit. And if you look at the shield, you see where they get the dick from. Yeah, buff this John out. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, she a scrub. Look, she happy. Yeah, I work at a room. I don't know what I'm saying. clean beds with bed bugs and shit, bitch. Sometimes you might get tired of your job, be like, I'm sick of this shit, bitch. I'm finna snitch on David Pena ass right fucking now. You know what I'm saying? Got me working, goddamn it. Shit. I got vacation. He don't want to pay me for my vacation to pay. Now I'm finna tell everybody he's selling kidneys. Now the whole Chicago with shenanigans at this bitch. You know what I'm talking about? You can look at it and tell, no, she can't come in the kitchen, keep her at the kitchen. She want no co-workers, you know what I'm saying? You got to have all the wings and everything. Like, y'all ain't cooking nothing no more? Nah, we ain't got no order yet, boo. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we ain't even got no fryers on. That bitch snooping, she hip like shit. I know when I read the order last night. Y'all supposed to be prepping, ain't you? You know what I'm talking about? Next thing you know, this bitch, you know what I'm saying? And she look like she get dropped off in a little Hyundai. You know the Hyundai with no hood caps on that motherfucker? 2-door, small jaunt, 2 baby car seats in the back. The passenger seat lean back, cause you know what I'm saying, when she drive to work, he on the passenger side. You know the bitch struggling. You know the bitch got a hard life. Like, damn, I'm fucking with Snoop. And when you think about Snoop, think about Lil Ray on South Central, fucking with him and shit. Just imagine, you know what I'm saying, what's his name, y'all? OG Bobby Johnson. You know what I'm talking about? Dropping her ass off at work. Talking about some, yeah, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Have a good day type shit. You know, talking about don't work hard, work smart type shit. And try to get that bitch in shape. And that bitch had enough. Like, I'm sick of this shit. Trying to keep up with the baby dad and shit, but she holding her composure. Look at those guns. I mean, shit, you need to put this on the FBI, goddamn it, terrorist list. She look like a terrorist. If you see that nose, that's dangerous alone. Like, shit, bitch, a nose like this here. No, you can't come to our 8-ball parties. She can't come to no more drug events. Like, yeah, now, wait a minute. Yeah, you got Malik want to come in. She want to bump. She want to bump. Who was her? You know, she cool. You know, she cool. She fine. Is she thick though? Show me a pigeon. That bitch show you one of these. Be like, oh hell no. Bitch, this is a setup. It's a motherfucking setup. You know what I'm talking about? This got to be a motherfucking prank. This a prank? Where the cameras at? You will see Trey Gang pointing out. Look, I'm be pointing over here, looking at the lampshade. This a prank, bitch. No, this me, Trey Gang. This actually me. This you, bitch? Yeah, this me. Man, you ain't even got to call 911. Call 211. That motherfucker gonna go straight to the zoo department. Yeah. We got a call. Yeah, you been transferred to the grizzly bear department. Yeah, it's a grizzly bear. It's a black giant. You know, that motherfucker all black. I'm like, what size it is? That motherfucker look like a 300-pounder. And I'm looking at the snout on that motherfucker. That motherfucker look mean. Can y'all bring a Jeep out here to get that motherfucker? Yeah, we gonna send a little work order and we'll send somebody the first thing, you know what I'm saying? And next thing you know, you still gotta see this bitch growling. on the street for a couple of days talking about fuck with the bitch. Buy your girl a drink or something, you know what I'm talking about? And all this old shit. And she take a picture like this, she'll be like, look, I know I'm ugly as hell, but I at least got a job. You know, I clean bed sheets and stuff, and I wash blankets and quilts and shit. Oh, yeah, you know, I'm a hard-working woman and stuff. Bitch, I don't want no bitch that know how to fold blankets, bitch. That's a government, baby. Like, damn, that's what you got to come to the table. Like, yeah, I can make you snuggle and tight in bed. You know what I'm saying? And everybody know when they come to house people, don't you know how they be wrapping those sheets and blankets around those beds so goddamn tight that you got to pull and snug on that mother like this? Look, I go to a casino and I know, goddamn it, shit, you ain't even got to pull that much on it. You can just slip in that motherfucker and the cover just tighten up on your ass. You can't take this bitch nowhere. She always hungry and got 5 kids. This bitch like, where you going? Like, damn, boo, I'm just trying to bend a little couple of blocks, go holler at the homeboy. I'm going with you. Damn, bitch, why you want to go with me? She trying to jump all in the car and shit, you know what I'm talking about? And then when she jump in the car and shit, and when you ask this bitch, what you want to do? Well, I'm a little hungry. Can we go to Wendy's type shit? Wendy's, bitch. What you got to grow up for? You know, Trey ain't so in advance. You know, I'm already civilized, but this bitch a refugee. You know what I'm talking about? You say Wendy's, bitch? Yeah, Wendy's. Shit, I want a Baconator. Baconator, bitch. I'm looking at the belly department like, woo-wee. I never choose. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at the tank department. They just like, if I'm going to go and buy a Hellcat, and I'm looking at the tank department like, this how much fuse that motherfucker hold, you know, it's in a gallon. I'm like, well, that damn. Shit, a belly like this bitch gonna stay energized. Man, all those lettuce and chicken wings and hamburger patties and Krabby Patties and all this piled up. This bitch got nutrients. And that bitch got power. Bitch ain't going to sleep. This is why you don't catch fat motherfuckers like this here sleep at night. They always up on their phone at 2 a.m. with a cupcake in their motherfucking hand. And hating on the next bitch like, yeah, maggot bitch. You know how them look, you know, she looking at this how she looking at your Facebook cause she know you fine this, you got hips, you got ass, titties, and you could put on that sundress on, be like, yeah, I can't find a man. And this bitch looking at you like, bitch. Bitch, I the one look like goddamn Gargamel on that motherfucker, and you look like goddamn it, you know what I'm saying, Queen Elizabeth on that motherfucker. I know you fucking lying, bitch, and I'm sitting up here, I ain't got no fucking man. This one I'm finna do, I'm finna let him know, and I get paid every Thursday. You get paid every Thursday? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. For real? Yeah, you know, I got 4 kids and shit. I have money left over, you know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah, because, you know, I be trying to, you know, re-up on the kush and shit, you know. Oh, you be having the kush? Yeah. Shit, man, let me get a couple little hundred, give me a ounce of kush or whatever. And this thing, you know, she finna go, you know what I'm saying? My man want a kush. I'm finna get him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm finna get him, a little money to re-up and shit, cause this type of bitch I am, you know what I'm saying? This type of bitch I am, I'm finna fuck with him this time, He just wanna ask a could just smoke with the homeboy, just say, yeah, I got a fat bitch on charge, man. What? Yeah, man, I got a little fat bitch at a little hotel, bitch sent me a picture, but like, yeah, boo, cause a bitch sent me a picture like this, it's because I told that bitch, send me that picture, bitch, make sure you at work. Yeah, boo, I'm at work folding blankets and shit, like that's something, like that, like the bitch want to cook or something. Cause you done fold a blanket, bitch, you know what I'm talking about? Oh, hell no. You must don't know about my resume, cause the type of female that I fool with, they don't fold blankets. They sign paperwork and shit, you know what I'm saying? They credit motherfuckers on credit scores and you know what I'm saying? And you folding blankets? No, this would never work. I ain't finna go to my pops, be like, yeah, who is the lucky one? And I show him a picture of the deals. Man, she look just like the new Cane Cassos I got. When the lady gave me my new Cane Casso dog, I'm looking at the nose and the jawline like, yup, that's the jawline, that's that Cane Casso. But that nose, red nose pit. But I'm looking at that bitch head like, damn, they got a little bit ET in that motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about? Looking at E.T. moving like that, and it be look just like E.T. Look at those arms. Look at this. Man, damn, bitch. You look like you snitch on everybody on the job and shit, and you be hanging with Miss Pearl and them old ass, and they snitches too. Everybody be in that break room be trading goddamn a painkiller, be like, yeah, I got some perk 30. Yeah, bitch, I got some tabs. Let me give you 2 tabs for these perks. Yeah, honey. I'm out. Fucked up. Yeah. Hey, y'all. Man, Trey ain't out. I'll be back. And y'all like, sure, grab. We'll be back.